Oh, you want? Did you? Hello and welcome to Menopause with Joe and Nana, another session where we're trying to share our experiences as well as just talk through what you could expect as part of the menopausal journey. That's a disclaimer there. I'm not going to read it, but we're not endorsing any product. We're just sharing our experiences based on different reasons. I hope you've watched our first edition, and this is a continuation of that. So thank you for joining us. I'm going to hand back to Nana to talk through these different hormones that are playing during a woman's life, I would say, because it's just a woman's life, isn't
Yes.
it?
So in our uh, previous session, we started defining what menopause is. So I'll just quickly go through that. So we did say that menopause is when menstruation or when you stop bleeding for a period of 12 months, a whole year. And this is the stage whereby the ovaries no longer produce eggs. And as a result of fluctuations in hormones such as estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone, that's when we experience the numerous symptoms of hormone symptoms of menopause. These symptoms can vary. Sometimes they are mild, moderate, severe, and it can affect not only our lives, it can affect family life. It can affect us at work. So that's why we thought we would share our experiences and talk a little bit about uh, these symptoms. So I also wanted to mention that the menopause or the average age of menopause is 51, like I mentioned in the previous session. However, sometimes some individuals may experience menopause at a younger age. So whereby if you are 45 or less, when you experience it around that age, it's called premature um, menopause. And then when you experience menopause 40 and less, then it's there's a condition called premature ovarian insufficiency. And sometimes this can be brought on from, it could be genetic, it could be an autoimmune disease, it could be from medication, such as if you're having chemotherapy or radiotherapy, it can cause you to have your periods to stop. And then that's what we call premature ovarian insufficiency. Okay.
Could I just add there as well? Could also be surgically induced.
Yes, right.
So
Yes,
yeah.
right. It can be surgically induced after some form of operation. Okay, that's brilliant. So we want to talk more on the different types of the hormones. So the most important, well, all the hormones are important, but estrogen is the main hormone that causes most of our symptoms. Estrogen influences every part of our body from our head to our toes. There are estrogen
Correct.
receptors that help to promote healthy lifestyle or health and wellness for us. So, for instance, our brain, the influence of estrogen in our brain, it helps to improve our mood. It helps to regulate body temperature. It helps with our memory and our sex drive. When it comes to our heart, estrogen helps to make sure that our hearts and all our, you know, the vessels, the blood flow is working as it should. It helps to lower cholesterol. It helps to maintain a healthy lining in our blood vessels. It regulates our heart rate, etc. When we move down a little bit to our liver, estrogen will help to regulate cholesterol. Bones, estrogen is important in protecting our bones. It strengthens our bones. As when it comes to our skin, it helps in the production of collagen, It reduces moisture loss. We have a healthy skin. When we move down to our joints and muscles, estrogen protects all our joints and our muscles, gives us what flexibility. It lubricates our joints. It improves our muscle strength. When we move down further to our bowels, it helps maintain a healthy gut. Um, and a healthy gut also helps improve our immune system. When it comes to our bladder, it helps to keep a healthy bladder and reduce our risk of getting infection. You realize that as we grow older, we are more prone to urinary tract infections, and that's because of the reduction in estrogen in our bodies. And also it helps with a healthy vagina, helps to lubricate the area, reduce infections, etc. So you realize that there is a whole um, benefits of having estrogen, and a reduction or a decline in estrogen causes a whole range of symptoms, which we would discuss. Now, the next hormone um, is progesterone. So progesterone is also important, another important female hormone, and its effects benefits to our brain. So we notice that when you have low levels of progesterone, this can affect our sleep. So we're not sleeping properly or well. We are a bit more, it can cause anxiety, and it causes migraine. So you realize that, when um, even through menstruation, if our progesterone levels are high, women tend to get a little bit of migraine. Progesterone also helps with bone health as well. And this helps to prevent fractures. So when there is less progesterone, bone density is reduced, and we are prone to having fractures if we have a fall. It also is important in our reproductive function and our sexual health as well. Fertility disturbance and heavy or irregular bleeding can be associated with the low levels of progesterone. So that's just a summary of the benefits or the influence of progesterone on women. The next hormone is testosterone. So women do have a little bit of male hormone testosterone, and its influence on us. It helps us to in our concentration, our memory. It helps with our eye health. The same cardiovascular, our hearts, helping to lower cholesterol, helping us to have a healthy heart. It also plays a role in our mood. You realize that you have low mood, low energy, and that's due to having less testosterone. It also helps or influences bone health, as reproductive and sexual health. And you realize that around premenopausal or menopausal, many women complain of a reduction in sex drive, etc. So yes, so those are the three major hormones, and a decline in these hormones is what causes many of the symptoms which we'll be talking about next. Don't know whether Josephine wants to chip in at this point.
Yeah, I want to say that, I mean, it's mostly down to estrogen anyway, because that's the bulk of the female sex hormones. Estrogen is the bulk. So it's amazing how this, one, or if I just focus on estrogen, how,
Mm.
the declining levels affect us so much, and
Yeah, true.
how much we actually owe to to it, I would
Mhm.
say. And this is one of the reasons I think I mentioned it while Nana and I were preparing for this session, that I believe that, girls should actually be taught about the whole journey, right from the word go. not just about puberty, menstruation, and pregnancy, but actually, the route you're going down, this path, this is where it's going to end. And perhaps that will make a lot of more women feel empowered and just knowing what might happen down the line. So when those things start to happen, you will not get too worried or just not knowing what's happening because like I think Lana mentioned in our first session that I think a lot of women know about hot flushes that happens when you get older. So that's I think one of the symptoms that I think, as a healthcare professional as well, growing up and before I became a healthcare professional, that was the only thing I knew about the menopause. That's because you would maybe see your mom or your mom-in-law and things like that talking about, oh, they're feeling quite warm, they have to maybe take off layers and things like that. So that was the only thing that I think I associated with menopause, hot flushes. Uh, yeah.
Very true. I didn't know much about the symptoms of menopause. I also only heard of hot flushes at that time before I got more interested in knowing what menopause is. So maybe I can mention some of the common symptoms that are associated with the menopause, if that's okay. And then we can talk about our personal symptoms that we've noticed or our experiences.
Yeah, so we've
So
got
there's
some
a
of the
range.
symptoms on the screen.
Yeah.
And then I will mention a few more as well, but we will then share our experiences about the top four, just personal experiences of the top four. Thanks, Nana.
No problem. So I'll mention some of the common symptoms associated with a decline in particularly estrogen, which you mentioned. We mentioned hot flushes, night sweats, effects on our mood. We tend to feel low, become anxious, we are irritated, low energy, memory and concentration problems, skin problems, dry skin. Um, when it comes to sexual health, vaginal dryness, itching, soreness, painful intercourse, frequent urinary tract infections, and then sleep disturbance. Those are some of the common symptoms of menopause. When it comes to the ones that we've mentioned at the top here, headaches and migraines. I was experiencing these um, before. Well, actually, premenopausal stage is so many years, so I can't really remember when I started having the premenopausal symptoms. I just became aware of it you'd be surprised, in my 50s, that I became aware that some of these symptoms are due to the menopause. But ever since, for many years, I've always had headaches and migraines, especially prior to menstruation, during menstruation, or even after. Uh, However, I realized also that when I started or became more aware of what I'm eating and changed my diet, I had less migraines, you know. And then sometimes when I don't eat, so mine is probably is menopause, is hormone related. When I'm hungry, I get migraines. When I don't sleep well, I get migraines. So I use, there are certain triggers of migraines for me. Um, Hot flushes, by the grace of God, I've not experienced hot flushes.
Lucky you.
Uh, I don't have night sweats. I don't have night sweats. But for me, the one thing I think I can really say is low mood. Sometimes for no reason, my mood is very low. It got to a point I thought I was depressed, and I went to the doctor and told him I feel I'm depressed, and then he wrote a prescription for antidepressants, but I didn't take it because I was just I 1 minute I'm just so low, so sad, no motivation, lack of energy, don't want to do any, I'm not enjoying the things that will motivate me. And then a couple of days later,